Cheers. So this video is all about Tantric Conversational Hypnotherapy and what is it. So this is for you if you've ever felt like you've been doing all of the inner work, saying all of the right affirmations, and yet something deeper inside you just isn't changing. Or maybe you know what you want, but it's as if an invisible part of you keeps pulling you back into the same patterns. You're not broken. You're just speaking to the wrong part of your mind. And that's where Tantric Conversational Hypnotherapy begins. I spent over a decade now studying how awareness transforms the nervous system, learning from teachers like Joe Dispenza, David Bayer, Christopher Hareesh Wallace, Scott Jansen, Igor Ledochowski, and more. But what changed everything wasn't just what they taught me. It was discovering what happens when sacred philosophy meets subconscious science. That's the fusion of Tantric Conversational Hypnotherapy, the meeting point of awareness and embodiment, a sacred dialogue that helps you access the deeper layers of your consciousness where the transformation actually happens. See, Tantric Conversational Hypnotherapy is the art of using language, presence, and timeless wisdom to help your unconscious reorganize itself. We're not using scripts or swinging watches. We're using language, the most powerful tool we have as human beings, like tuning forks, vibrations that help you hear yourself differently. From a tantric view, everything, thought, emotion, sensation, is simply consciousness in motion. And from a hypnotherapeutic view, real change happens when the conscious mind softens and the deeper mind becomes receptive. Combine them and you get a sacred conversation where truth arises naturally, without force, without shame, without bypassing your humanity. Most people try to think their way out of pain. I know that I have tried to do it for years, and it works to a degree and up to a point after which it doesn't work. They read, they analyze, they affirm, but the issue isn't in the thinking, it's in the state beneath the thought. You know, Einstein said the mind that created the problem isn't the same mind that can be used to resolve it. Something needs to shift. It needs to go beyond that which created the issue. That quiet hum of, I'm not enough, I'll never heal, it's always my fault. Maybe those sound familiar. Then not just beliefs though, they're states of consciousness, embodied programs running below awareness. This is called the visionary layer of the word in Tantra, or Pashyantivak, the subtle inner matrix where precognitive impressions that silently shape our outer world reside. And in a session, I don't put you under hypnosis. No, that's not what happens. Instead, I create a space where you can return within, into a relaxed, expanded state through presence, reflection, and silence. And in that space, something remarkable happens. Your own mind starts answering itself. The knots begin to untie. We begin to smooth over those mental, emotional scars and start to remember what's always been true. As I like to say, I'm not putting my fish in your pond, I'm helping you clear your own water. This is something that I recognize a lot of therapists do, and why a lot of people don't like to go and see therapists or coaches, is that they make it about themselves rather than about the person that's in front of them. And that's not my intention or my practice with Tantric Conversational Hypnotherapy. It's about creating the spaciousness for your own waters to clear rather than muddy it with my own scars. In Tantra, everything is sacred though, even the mess. We don't reject pain or fix fear, we meet them. We breathe with them because each emotion carries a piece of unexpressed intelligence. The opportunity to digest what has been stuck and feed from that its energy, and it is possible to not let that knot of mental emotional energy create dis-ease in the body, but to digest it so that it can be used as fuel to live a beautiful life. We work with what's called spanda, the subtle vibration that underlies all experience. And when your awareness aligns with that rhythm, healing becomes effortless. And this isn't just philosophy, it's physics. When you enter a relaxed, focused state, your brain waves shift from beta to alpha to theta, the same state your mind enters in deep meditation or REM sleep, where emotional memory rewiring happens fastest. Your nervous system moves into coherence, your subconscious into resonance, into receptivity. That's when the real transformation happens, not by control, but by communion, by communication. Have you ever been falling asleep on the cusp of drifting off, and then bam, epiphany strikes, and you get a flash of inspiration for that problem that's been bugging you for who knows how long? It's the same thing. I once worked with a client who had a lifelong fear of flying. She was a senior paramedic in London, calm in emergencies, but just the thought of getting on a plane sent her mind and body into panic. 2 sessions later, the fear was gone. Not suppressed, but integrated. And that's the power of TCH, when the conscious and subconscious begin to harmonize. Freedom replaces fear. Alignment replaces anxiety, and you return back to your natural state of being, in harmony with life. People come to this work when they've tried everything else. I know that I did. Therapy, affirmations, meditation, medicine, and still feeling stuck, not knowing which direction to turn, but knowing that there's still a problem, because the problem isn't knowledge, it's embodiment. You don't need more knowledge. You don't need more motivation. You need integration. And this work helps you listen to the parts of yourself that have been at war. And when those parts finally feel heard, the body starts to breathe again. It creates this spaciousness for things to realign. And that's when grief turns into wisdom, resistance into flow, and confusion into clarity. Tantric Conversational Hypnotherapy is the meeting of 2 lineages. The ancient science of consciousness and the modern art of communication. A synthesis that helps you dissolve illusion, repattern belief, and return to resonance. You already have the wisdom. You already have the truth. It's just a need of a space that helps you hear it again. As Dr. Joe Dispenza says, this isn't just a time to know, this is a time to know how. If this resonates with you, you can experience it directly through a private one-on-one session, or you can join the Aligned Living Collective, where I share weekly reflections, integration packs, and practices, including mantra, to help you live more aligned with reality. You'll find all the links in the description. And remember, you don't need to be fixed because you're not broken. This isn't the view in Tantric teachings. You're already perfectly whole. You're simply ready to remember that, to remember who you are, who you always have been, and embrace who you can become. That remembrance is the real hypnosis. And that awakening is Tantra. Rewriting your mind to re-engineer your life and realign with reality. That's TCH. Thank you for joining me today. Wishing you a beautiful day ahead. And remember, the divine is not above you. It's within you. You are the dreamer awakening within the dream. Cheers.